involved with the affair, and then Seth Rogen's like, I was there.
Oh, yeah. The two cops.
Oh shit. All right, brother. We are recording. If you want to do our
Perfect.
introduction.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome again to the podcast, everybody. Thank you again for joining us on our journey that is the Average Jives. This is a podcast where Zach and myself, my name is Jaron. Undoubtedly, Zach will call me JJ at least once throughout this podcast.
I can't help it. Okay, it
I
happens.
know. Zach, say something into the camera.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not familiar with the podcast, just stumbling upon it, this is a podcast where Zach and I will go through 10 movies of a particular category. Zach, our producer, has picked. We each take a little bit of time to watch our movies, the 5 that we pick, watch them, take some notes, come up with our own rankings, and then ultimately he and I will discuss and debate the final rankings, and we come up with a top 10 of that category. We do not claim to be professional critics. We are not professional podcasters yet, which makes us just a couple of average jives.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we are doing part 2 of our horror movie selections. Part 1 was 20 through 11. And now this week we're going to go through our top 10. The format breakdown real quick. Zach and I will each introduce our movies going back and forth. I will recap the 10 movies that we picked, and then we will dive into the ranking system in which one of us will say, I have this at 10. The other one says, I have it at 5. We'll argue for a little bit, and we'll come up with an agreement.
It doesn't get too heated sometimes, but
it has in the past. Like we mentioned in the first horror movie podcast, Zach and I are neither really big horror movie fans. So, I'm not going to argue with you, Jerry. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you.
No way.
So there's not going to be a lot of debate, I don't think, this time around. And then we picked 20 total movies because there are a ton of horror movies, and I feel like we still left a bunch out. A couple of my friends mentioned Saw, and
oh yeah,
a couple of other ones that I've seen, and oh yeah, we could have, but God damn it, there are millions of horror movies. We can only pick 20.
They have one come out like every month, so what do you expect?
Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, those are the other ones that have been mentioned. What was the remake of Texas Chainsaw that Rob Zombie did? House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah, that one was mentioned to me. I'm like, okay.
Whatever.
All right, so jumping into it, I will start here since I got my page already set up. The first movie I picked is the 1996 horror meta classic Scream, directed by Wes Craven, who also did the original Last House on the Left, I just mentioned. Hills Have Eyes, also just mentioned. He also did Swamp Thing, Nightmare on Elm Street, Vampire in Brooklyn, and Scream 2, 3, and 4. It was written by Kevin Williamson, who also wrote The Faculty, which is another good sci-fi horror-ish movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also wrote Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Hard to believe. I think Scream's going on 10 movies now.
Jeez.
This movie, if you have not seen it, is about high schoolers who are murdered and tormented by a killer on the loose in their small California town with seemingly sinister intentions of rectifying something from the past. Roger Ebert, surprisingly, gave it 3 stars. Says Scream is not about plot. It is about itself and the characters who know they're in a plot and the many uses of cliches as it intentionally mocks, which I think kind of hits the nail on the head. I mean, it can be a scary movie. It has some jump scares. We'll get into all this later, but throughout most of the movie, it's kind of making fun of itself.
It is, yeah. It is.
It stars Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Skeet Ulrich, Drew Barrymore, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Liev Schreiber, Jamie Kennedy, and an uncredited Henry Winkler for our younger crowd. That is the Fonz.
The Fonz for the younger crowd.
So even I wasn't even around for that. So, and then unsurprisingly, this movie received no Oscars.
It's kind of a common theme with these horror movies we've been doing, but
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple that are actually kind of surprising that we're going to get into here soon, but yeah, I don't expect a lot of Oscar nominations or wins for that matter in this podcast here.
yeah. Well, to be fair, the one I'm about to introduce has two of them,
Perfect.
and it is The Exorcist from 1973. And that was a great movie year. 73 was a good movie year.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
The Exorcist, The Sting, American Graffiti. You
Mm.
know, did The Last Detail come out that year? I feel like it did, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but
Last Boy
they.
Scout, I think actually. I'm not sure. I have not seen the last detail.
I haven't either, but yeah, whatever. Well, Serpico came out that year as well, The Day of the Jackal. So we got plenty of good movies that year.
Yeah.
It was directed by William Friedkin. He introduced this film at the TCM Film Festival, which I do bring that up a lot. But
Hmm.
I left the screening early because I wanted to check out the strip club just down the street.
Oh, of
So
course.
it
Yeah.
was it was getting a little late, even for LA. It was getting late. But
You and Pops got to
anyway,
go to the strip club.
yeah, Dad did not attend. I believe he was asleep by then. Anyway, Billy Friedkin had just won the Best Director Oscar for a movie we've covered on the pod already, The French Connection, and
Yeah.
him directing a horror movie after that was a pretty big head scratcher around Hollywood. But both the screenplay and novel were written by William Peter Blatty. Before this novel, he was actually known for writing comedies, if you believe it or not. So but it stars Ellen Burstyn, Jason Miller, Linda Blair in her Oscar nominated performance as Little Reagan with
Yeah.
Max von Sydow and Lee J. Cobb.
See down.
And it's about when a teenage girl becomes possessed by a demon, her mother seeks help from the Catholic Church and Father Karras. And when the case of possession appears to be too overwhelming for Father Karras, the church calls upon the demon's old foe to perform the exorcism. And
Yeah. Couple
Stanley,
of unintentional comedy moments in this movie as well.
yeah, very unintentional.
We're gonna get into that.
Stanley Kaufman of The New Republic wrote, "This is the scariest film I've seen in years. The only
Mm,
scary film, yeah, the only scary film I've seen in years." And
okay.
you were scared, Jaron. I know you were.
Eh,
You called me in the middle of the night saying you were scared.
I just need to talk to someone.
I need to talk. But Arthur T. Murphy of Variety noted that it was an expert telling of a supernatural horror story, and your boy Raj gave it 4 out of 4 stars.
Okay.
So,
I don't like to argue with Roger, although sometimes he swings and misses.
yeah, that is true. But the two Oscars it won was Best Adapted Screenplay, which as I mentioned, William Peter Blatty wrote his own screenplay, which is that's pretty rare in Hollywood. But anyway, and for sound, Robert Knudsen, which I'll bring him up later on, but he also won for Best Sound. So
Okay. Well, yeah, some Oscar noms here every now and again. Like I said,
yeah,
there's a couple that I have here that was kind of surprising. The next movie I have is the classic, classic 1980 horror film, The Shining, directed by the one and only Stanley Kubrick. If you're not familiar with Stanley Kubrick, I'm not sure why you're even listening to this podcast, but he did Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, Doctor Strange Love, Eyes Wide Shut, 2001 Space Odyssey, Spartacus, and on and on and on. Based upon the novel written by Stephen King, who, again, you should know, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, Misery, The Stand, Carrie, Pet Cemetery, on and on and on with all
yeah,
his
yeah.
novels as well. And then the screenplay was written by Kubrick, and I believe Stephen King was not overly thrilled with this adaptation, but definitely more disappointed with others that have been adapted into screenplays by his writing. Stars Jack Nicholas, Shelley Duvall, Scatman Crothers, and Donnie Lloyd. It is about a newly hired wannabe author takes a job of a groundskeeper at an isolated hotel in the dead of winter in Colorado, where horrifying and sinister acts follow as his family tries to acclimate to the isolation. This is a very surprising, actually, Oscar dud. Not a
It
single
didn't get
nomination.
any. Oh shit!
Not,
Huh.
it's not a single win, not a single nomination. I don't know if, maybe the Academy just, didn't like Stanley Kubrick or was kind of over him by then or what. But yeah, that was incredibly surprising to me. My boy Raj obviously gave it 4 stars. It's part of
Hmm.
his great movie collection.
Yes,
It's
yes.
says it's cold and frightening shining. It challenges us to decide who is the reliable observer. Who The whole idea of the movie is the events on who we can trust and what has actually taken place. And then he deep dives into a lot of Stanley Kubrick, a lot of the Native American stuff, and a lot of the intentionalities of Kubrick and the screenplay. And he kind of goes full Roger critic nerd on it. It's actually it's a really great review if anybody wants to go out there and just go to rogerebert.com and type in The Shining. I think he did an original review when it came out, and then like he always did, he went back and did a second review. But he did give it 4 stars in the first screening as well.
Good, good, good for Raj. Next movie on my list is Halloween, the original Halloween from 1978. It was written and directed by the great John Carpenter, known for The Thing, Escape from New York and LA. And we'll just add Big Trouble in Little China to the intro. I saw it years ago. I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. But like I mentioned, written by John Carpenter, but the script rewrites were done by Deborah Hill. And the film stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, and the man behind the Michael Myers mask belongs to Tony Moran. And it's about Michael Myers returns to his small hometown of Haydenfield, Illinois to continue his rampage that started with killing his sister on Halloween night 15 years prior.
What a kind of
Bill,
humble brag that would be. Like, oh, you're an actor, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm in fucking Halloween. I'm the main character. I have to wear a mask the entire time though. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that kind of sucks for that guy.
yeah,
Although he doesn't have to speak either, so I guess it's kind
that's
of a
even
toss up.
worse.
He just
Yeah.
walks very slowly and stalks.
He
I mean, good
pokes his
job,
head
dude.
out of bushes and shit. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but Bill Von Maher of the Miami Times felt it was surprisingly good in noting, taken on its own level, Halloween is a terrifying movie if if you are the right age and at the right mood. But that was the best review I could find on Wikipedia. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Any Oscars?
I don't believe so.
No,
I
I don't
didn't write
believe
it
so
down
either.
actually. Yeah, I think we're safe to say no, but shit, you never know. I guess.
If you're gonna say frickin', just go for the gold. Sorry, I'm watching
Perfect
for those
timing.
not aware. I'm watching a few My Fellow Americans in the background here, and it's one of Zach and I's favorite, and that scene just came up. The next movie I have on my list is The Descent, which came out in 2005. I think this might be the newest horror movie on this list. I think
Mm-hmm.
obviously Get Out came on after this, but I think The Ring was 2002 on the last list, and Get Out was like 20, I don't know, 12 or something like that. Um, so yeah, relatively newer horror movie here on the list. It is directed and written by a guy named Neil Marshall, whom I have never heard of. The only other writing and directing credits are Dog Soldiers and The Reckoning, which he wrote. And then he directed 2 episodes of Games of Thrones and 1 episode of Westworld.
Hmm.
So take with that as you may. It stars Shauna McDonald, Alex Reed, Natalie Mendoza, Nora Jean Noon, which a bunch of honestly no-name female actors in this movie. It's comprised of an entire female cast. There is one man in the very beginning of it in the first scene, and that's it. And then you can, maybe the little white guys are male or female, who knows.
Yeah.
But it's about a group of friends to go on an annual cave diving adventure, but their leader has led them into an unknown cave with unknown adventures and dangers.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert gave this movie 4 fucking stars.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I literally have written in my notes, wow, not expecting that. He said, this is kind of a longer, just because I was so
Surprise.
flabbergasted at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote a decent amount from his excerpt. It says, a grueling, adrenaline pumping classic such as Jaws, Deliverance, Alien, and Dead Calm. It is that good. Finally, a scary movie with teeth, not just blood and entrails. A savage and gripping piece of work that jangles your nerves without leaving your brain hanging. And so, for a change, you emerge feeling energized and exhilarated rather than enervated or merely queasy. So
Oh,
yeah, he
damn, Raj. I
yeah, he
mean,
loved this movie. He went on to just say how refreshing it is to have a horror movie that actually, makes you think, and it's not just a jump scare after jump scare, and not just a killer who is on the loose and killing people on,
mm-hmm.
who's seemingly to be superhero or superhuman, I guess. And yeah, just loved it. So, and then he mentions Dog Soldiers as a great, first round for this director writer. Again, I've never heard of it, so I might have to check it out. But yeah, 4 stars, and then Oscars 0.
Yeah. I mean,
Not surprising. Not
until
surprising.
you until you put it on the list, I hadn't heard of it, to be honest with you.
I
But
saw it way back when it came out, and I think I may have seen it in theaters. And I don't know if I was on a date or back then I used to just go by myself, and
yeah, yeah,
I was actually like, wow, this is a pretty terrifying movie, to be honest. And I don't like horror movies. It's not. Well, I will get into this, but it's not. Like Roger said, it's not just killing and blood the whole time, and it's not just stupid
hmm
writing. It's a really smart done movie, great lighting, and yeah, we'll get into all that when here in a second here.
yeah. It's good. Well, fucking Roger Ebert, man. He just surprises you
He's
sometimes.
he's full of surprises, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I got a critic that this one will surprise you actually, but
Okay.
my next movie is Night of the Living Dead from
Mm.
1968. It's directed by George Romero, and the screenplay was by George Romero and John Russo, starring Dwayne Jones, Judith Od,
Judith.
Carl Judith. Oh, right, right, yes, yes, yeah, Judith.
Judy, pleasure to meet you.
Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman. And this movie is like the definition of a one-hit wonder for all who were involved in this picture because nobody did anything after this hit. Which I mean, it was a hit. It was a big movie back then. Uh, and it's
Not
just
even
about
George Romero.
yeah, Jordan. I haven't heard of him, but it's about a group of people who defend themselves against radioactive zombies. And the New Yorker critic Pauline Kael, your girl, called
Yeah,
the film one of the most gruesomely terrifying movies ever made. And when you leave the theater, you may wish you could forget the whole horrible experience. The film's grainy, banal seriousness works for it and gives it a crude realism. I
I
don't.
have much. I have much different thoughts, but
I mean, I was kind of surprised. I mean, it sounds like a positive review to me. That's
yeah,
how.
totally.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, she's something of a critic.
Jeez.
God. I don't have to get into that right now. Not a fan for those.
You were tempted to. I could tell by the
I know.
positive.
I want to say more, but it's okay.
Just
Everyone's
I
entitled to their
can't
opinion.
get
You
into
know.
this.
Yeah. I don't know how you can make money with bad takes one after another, but the next movie on my list is Johnny Depp's first movie debut called A Nightmare on Elm Street, coming out in 1984, written and directed by Wes Craven, who I just went over, Hills Have Eyes, Last House on the Left, yada, yada, yada. Like I said, it stars Johnny Depp, Heather Langenkamp, Robert Englund. Robert Englund, again, wow, you're in a horror movie. Who'd you play? Oh, the guy with the mask. So
Yeah.
it is about a group of, I wrote children, but they're really high schoolers. A group
Yes.
of high schoolers who are tormented by a serial killer with a bladed glove in their dreams. If they are killed in their dreams, they die in reality as well. What a fucking plot to pitch Hollywood. I don't know. It received 0 Oscars, and my boy Roger Ebert actually did not review this movie. I actually couldn't find like a decent in-depth review. I have one here from the New York Times from Vincent Canby. It says the high schoolers start sharing the same dream which a long dead child murderer attempts to carry on his mission from the far side of the grave. That he succeeds for a while should come as no surprise to anyone who keeps up with horror films, especially those in which the mortality rate among sexually active teenagers is always alarmingly high.
Hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, he succeeds because the 1980s, any movie that you had a horror movie, teenagers were having sex, and anybody who had sex died, which is kind of a big plot point in my good movie Scream that we're going to talk about again later. Again, 0 Oscars. So really not. I couldn't really find a lot of information on this film, even though it is a very popular horror movie and it spawned 10 fucking sequels. So
Yeah,
Freddy
well,
Krueger, Freddy versus Jason, Freddy something or other, Freddy goes to Florida, maybe, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of
It's
Freddys.
it. Yes, it did. It did.
But
I thought,
like a lot of horror movies, the first one just kind of sets it off. I mean, Friday the 13th, 2 and 3 were way more popular because they actually had Jason, where, Nightmare on Elm Street was just kind of getting started with this Freddy Krueger character. And yeah, it is what it is. It's on the list, so can't take it back now.
I didn't hate it personally, but
Okay.
we'll dive into it. Yeah, but before we dive into it, I got 2 movies left. I believe you have one, don't you, Jaron?
I got one left, a good one.
Okay. Mine. My next one is Rosemary's Baby, also from 1968. It was written for the screen and directed by Roman Polanski, who has had a pretty controversial
Yeah, we don't have
life
to get
and
into that. We don't need to
career.
get canceled.
Why? I mean, hey, you mentioned Cuckoo's Nest and Cuckoo's Nest and Jack Nicholson's character. I mean, you said he raped a 15-year-old. Well, Roman Polanski literally raped a 13-year-old. So
Okay, exactly. Awesome for the listeners here.
no, who cares?
Should we get into Woody Allen next?
Who cares? Nobody's listening anyway.
I almost put in Major League too.
That's a good one. Yeah, that would. Yeah, and plus baseball season's going. So,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
anyways, the novel was written by Ira Levine. In the movie starring Mia Farrow, John Cassavetes, who is the OG jack of all trades. He was writer, director, actor, and he kind of pioneered the independent film movement. And it also stars Ruth Gordon and Sidney Blackmer. It's about a struggling actor who sells his soul to a group of Satanists for a successful career. The quid pro quo involves his gentle wife and her pregnancy.
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
Neither have I, but I knew it was a classic. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
I enjoyed it. It's a very interesting movie.
yes, indeed. Variety said several exhilarating milestones are achieved in Rosemary's Baby, an excellent film version of Ira Levine's diabolical chiller novel. Writer director Roman Polanski has triumphed in his first U.S. made pick. The film holds attention without explicit violence or gore. Farrow's performance is also outstanding. So,
Hmm. Get out of the chopper. The crops.
is that the scene you're at now?
Yeah. Well, maybe if you make a scary face, he'll go away. See, this is why I like to have a movie on the background here.
Yeah.
Even though the listener doesn't know what I'm watching. Again, My Fellow Americans, classic funny movie.
It's,
All right,
streaming free on YouTube right now, so
there
that's
you go.
just we're going to throw that out there.
They should pay us for all these little
Promotion.
we do promotions for these movies all the time. We
Yeah.
get nothing for it. My last movie on the list is the 1982 classic horror. Again, I think I've said that 3 times, but it is a classic. The Poltergeist, written by Tobe Hooper.
I think it's Toby.
Tobe Hooper, Tobe Hooper, who also will be mentioned here in the next movie that Zach talks about.
Mm-hmm.
It was written by Steven Spielberg, which I think maybe I knew at some point, but
Well, see, I thought he just produced it. I didn't know he wrote it either. I was like shocked. I was like, "Holy crap, man!" I
yeah,
didn't.
three writing credits: Michael Grace and Mark Victor. They don't have a lot of credits to their names either. Steven Spielberg, obviously, dozens and dozens. We've talked about him plenty on this podcast. I also thought he was just a producer, but no, he actually got a writing credit on it too. So it stars Craig T. Nelson, Coach.
Coach.
Which, again, I wasn't aware until I started watching. I'm like, fuck, is that Coach? Jobeth Williams, Beatrice Strigett? I don't know. And then the music, actually, I'm going to give a shout out to for Jerry Goldsmith.
Oh yeah, Jerry, your boy Jer.
And then it is about a family's home begins experiencing odd and supernatural acts and eventually turns sinister, kidnapping one of the daughters of the household who has to be brought back from another realm. Surprisingly, 3 Oscar nominations. one for visual effects, one for sound effects, and then Jerry Goldsmith getting a nomination for an original score. Roger Ebert gave this movie 3 stars. Not a long review, so I just have one little excerpt here. It just says the special effects are so sensational, and scary that they sometimes upstage the human actors. And so he enjoyed the movie, and then just kind of went on to say the special effects kind of outdo, the human actor. At the time, there was nobody well known. And then, we could talk about it. I don't want to talk about it again, but in doing the research here, the eldest daughter of this movie was 23 at the time when this movie came out, was horribly murdered by her boyfriend
Oh
at the time.
shit!
And this
Fuck.
was her last acting credit. She was only 23 years old. An abusive boyfriend she broke up with and came home and strangled her. So, Poltergeist, scary movie, and then, life imitating art. I guess it was very sad. So, I just wanted to mention that because that's kind of an odd thing to read about when you're doing research for a movie. And I thought she was great, honestly, in the movie. She was funny. She's
Yeah,
a
she was.
beautiful, beautiful young lady, and yeah, just a tragic end. Because I wanted to see what else she went on to do. And I think she was filming scenes for something else when this was released. So this is her last acting credit. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with the last movie here with that sad note.
Well, man, a little more uplifting note. My girl Beatrice Straight. I mean, you
Yeah.
kind of you kind of forgot about her little. She was in Network for only 6 minutes, but she ended up winning Best Supporting Actress for it.
Oh
She
shit.
she seriously only had she basically won it for being in one scene. It was like a 4 minute scene. It's when William Holden confesses that he'd been having an affair with Faye Dunaway, and she just goes off in this incredible
Oh
monologue.
yeah.
And, yeah, it's freaking yeah. I think it's like the shortest amount of time because, like I said, I think 6 minutes total. She was in the
Yeah.
movie and she won an Oscar for it. So
Yeah.
I thought she was
Hannibal
great.
Lecter was in it for like 12, and people gave that a hard time. Wow. Yeah, that's great. I didn't know. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. But the very last film for our introductions, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. It was directed by Toby with an I. Sometimes he puts a little heart over the I.
Toby, to-
Toby, Toby Wong, Toby
Toby
Wong,
Wong, Toby fucking Chong.
Toby Hooper, we'll say. And this film and another you just mentioned, Poltergeist, were his only big hits. I think he actually did better with miniseries and TV series, but the last film he made was Dinjin back in 2013, but he passed away in 2017. So a little bit depressing, I suppose, but this
Definitely.
puts things in perspective, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, two kind of sad little tidbits there to end the introductions.
Yeah. Uh, it was also one of his few screenplay credits. This film was also co-written by Kim Henkel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably not, but fuck it. Who's been basically writing the Leatherface coattail since this film was released in 1974.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned it earlier. It's Leatherface, this Texas Chainsaw 20. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
again, House of a Thousand Corpses, and then the one that followed that. And it's,
yeah,
yeah, a
yeah,
ton of spin offs there. And actually, I enjoyed this. Enjoy is a weird word, but I thought it was a good movie.
me too.
I'd never seen it before. I think maybe one time at Eric Lund's house back
Oh
in high
shit,
school, someone wanted to put it on, and we all kind of just wandered out, except me, who was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this movie."
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, actually, a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, and it's starring Marilyn Burns, Alan Danziger, William Vale, and Gunnar Henson, who plays Leatherface. Per Google, it's about a group of friends on a road trip who encounter a family of cannibals, leading to a night of terror and murder.
Hmm.
Empire magazine described it as the most purely horrifying movie ever made and called it uh, never less than totally committed to scaring you witless. In other words, in the words of the horror novelist, you've heard of him, Stephen King, who declared, I would happily testify to its redeeming social merit in any court in the country. That's how he, good old Stephen King, man.
Yeah, and for those who are listeners or first time, the movie, I create mine from my brainchild, which is me, and
Mhm.
Zach takes them from fucking Google and Wikipedia. So
No, I don't think I've ever taken it from Wikipedia, but to be fair, I do give credit where credit's due.
you
You
do,
know what I
you
mean?
do, you do
Yeah.
always cite your resources. I agree.
that's that's why
I just love it because
you can no longer say, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" Because I
I
always
always
admit where I steal it
I
from.
always like sit there and think about, oh, what was the movie about? And I like write a good what this movie's about. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking nailed that one. And then
Yeah.
you always come on like per Google, this is about.
Well, some of them I haven't seen. It's just easier
Well,
that
yeah,
way.
it's true.
So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. Okay. All right. So those are our 10 movies. For those who are still with us with our little side quests that we've been doing in this pod so far, we have The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, Poltergeist, The Descent, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, and Scream. So this is the fun part of the podcast where Zach and I will now debate and discuss each movie. Sometimes we go into length more into a certain movie than we do others. We always try to circle back and maybe touch on them if we have some thoughts. Again, these are horror movies that we are particularly huge fans of, so we may not do that too much this time. But Zach, I believe I started first last time with my 10 and my 9. What do
Okay.
you have at 9 and 10?
It might be a little bit surprising, but I have Halloween at 10.
Holy fuck. Okay.
And I have The Descents at 9. I actually didn't hate the Descent. I really didn't, but
Okay. Sounds like you did, but whatever.
I mean, shit. The way I described it, it's probably the most gore horror that we have on the list. But
Yeah.
as I was watching it, I felt really exhilarated, and even like when they were going through the cave, the tunnel scene, I was actually getting like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And
That's a big reason I love this movie. I don't like to say that I'm claustrophobic, but if I'm in a tight space or if I think like the elevator in a hotel or wherever I'm at like is going to get stuck, I instantly start freaking out. So like cave diving, it sounds fun, and
that's
I love to
claustrophobia.
hike, and I love to do adventurous shit, but I like when the lady gets caught and she just starts freaking out, she's like, I can't move. That is a fucking nightmare to me. I
Right.
mean, it was horrifying watching it again. And then yeah, like I mentioned, like the lighting, it's always got this like red
Hmm.
light, even though all of their headlamps are white. I don't know how they get the red light, but
Yeah. It's
and that first jump scare with the white things is what I'm going to call them because they're not humans, right? But
right.
one of the girls like kind of sees it from afar one time, kind of might see it climbing on a ceiling, and then one of the girls just died, I think, and they're like all kind of talking and panicking, and their lights are all out. One girl puts the night vision on, and she's like panning the surrounding area, and then you just see the white thing like right behind one of the girls, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh fuck, Jesus, okay. And then off goes the movie with, not only are you claustrophobic and scared because they're stuck in a cave that's never been traversed before, now you got these things to worry about and their little clicking noises, which makes sense because, they hunt by sonar with just like bats. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, there are a lot of scenes. I mean, with the girl who takes out one or two of them, stabbing them, and then her friend comes behind and kind of spooks her and just turns around and stabs her in the neck. Like, again, why wouldn't the friend say something?
Right.
Like, just be like, oh, hey, Annie, or whatever her name was. Like, hey, Annie, oh my God, you did awesome killing those two things. And she doesn't say anything. She sneaks up on her friend in this cave where these fucking weird things are, and she gets murdered. And the scene where the girl has to run from one and jump in the pool of blood, like, ugh. It's yeah. I remember seeing it. It's always been on like my top 10 horror film movies list. It's a tight, like 96 minutes too, which is awesome.
Mhm. Good point. Good
And
point.
and again, it doesn't have a stalking killer who's leaving clues about who they are, and it's not some paranormal thing. I mean, this I wouldn't say it's definitely not paranormal, but it's abnormal for these beings to be, I don't know, trapped in a cave for so long that, and then they breed and they just adapt to being in a cave that they never got out of, but yet they could get out of because they've hunted animals. It's
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
little wishy-washy there, but I mean, I had it at 7 just because I love the movie,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you
Well,
know
I
it.
initially, so without seeing it before and watching it, I thought it was almost just going to be like an extreme sports theme, but just with like gory deaths. And I was like,
Right.
actually, that's actually pretty exhilarating, actually, to just if you want to that like do an actual twist to the horror genre, because I know Final Destination is a little bit like that, kind of like actual deaths, but
Right.
way over exaggerated.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that was another horror movie that was brought up to me, and that's kind of what I mean. Is it a horror movie? Is it a suspense? Is it
oh,
just a weird? What's his name? I can't remember. I love that guy, but can't remember his name right now. More importantly,
that
Halloween at
guy.
10. Zach,
Yeah, yeah. I just like I said. I mean, I was a pup when I first saw this, and it's. I understand it's a classic,
it's
but
iconic.
out of other than the catchy score, and you mentioned during the last episode you weren't sure if it started the POV, but either way, I just it just didn't move the needle for me very much this next go around. I
Yeah,
didn't hate
it
it.
was either, yeah, it was either this or Friday the 13th that started it, and I can't remember now. But yeah, you got that POV, and he's always kind of lurking around, and Doctor Loomis, he's pure evil. Like, and like, how did he learn to drive? Like, was somebody fucking teaching him how to drive? They actually mentioned that in the screenplay at one point. Like, well,
Yeah.
how could he learn to drive? He's been locked up. Someone on your campus must have been teaching him. Like, I don't think that's even if they were like.
Jern, you're defending
It's,
my argument. Be careful.
I'm aware, but it is also it's an iconic horror movie. It is arguably the most popular from that era. Again, it spawned how many different fucking sequels. Jamie Lee Curtis was a nobody at the time, and I put it up pretty high,
Okay. How
pretty
high
high.
we talking?
Well, again, just because how
9.
iconic it is, I actually put it at 2.
Holy shit, get the fuck out of here, bro. No
I mean
fucking
I
way,
mean it's the
man.
epitome of a serial killer horror movie, right? Like
I'm almost like
it was
terrified what you had at 3 and 4, and
one of
even
the
1 now. Now I'm worried. I'm
well
worried we're
one
gonna
I
be
think
sitting here all
I think we both know what's going on there.
I don't know. You've been surprising me the last couple episodes, dude. I
Well,
don't know.
again, it's horror movie. I made several drafts.
So as usual, have to have at least 10. Have to have at least,
Do one before I watch, do one
yeah.
halfway, do one at the end, overthink the shit, rearrange. I get a bunch of arrows drawn on here. I mean, I'm not a big horror movie fan. I don't get scared in movies very easily. I always know when the jump scare is coming.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the back of my mind, I always know, hey, this is just a movie. So why are people afraid and scared in like it's literally just a movie. They're doing this shit intentionally to scare and get jump scares, and it just horror movies just never really clicked for me. I've never really
No,
enjoyed them,
for neither one of us. Yeah.
and so it's. I mean, yeah, my list is all fucked up, but
My list.
it
What
is, and I'm not gonna argue with you, Jerry. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. So,
you're darn tootin'.
well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to argue a little bit higher for Halloween. I
Well,
mean,
you had it at 2. I get it. I
it's
get
got to
it.
go. It's got to go above Night of the Living Dead.
And I'm guessing you had that at 10.
I did.
Okay. What you have at 9?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, okay. Well, I had Night of the Living Dead was actually kind of basically brought the French New Wave to the horror genre, and similar to Friday the 13th, it superseded the expectations with the budget it was given. And I think
Yeah.
I appreciate the contribution it gave to the genre, even though neither one of us are big fans of the horror genre.
Well, again, this is my argument for Halloween is why it should have been higher than 10. It did the exact same thing. I mean, it really boosted the horror movies. I will say well, there are more suspenseful scenes that happen in Halloween than Night of the Living Dead. Honestly, for a good 45 minutes in Night of the Living Dead, nothing really happens. They're just talking in a house.
Yeah, I mean,
And maybe I'm desensitized now because, we've had, you know, 13 Days Later, whatever that movie is, and 13
Yeah.
Weeks, and we've seen zombies and all sorts of realms now where
Walking
they're,
Dead. Yeah. Yes.
I Am
Yeah.
Legend, where they're fucking crazy. Some are smart, and they're mostly just running around with blood dripping out of their mouth, and they just want to fucking bite everything and eat everything. And I get it, it was 1968, so you do what you can with what you got. I did
Yeah.
appreciate some of the camera angles that they were having. I thought it was odd
Yes.
that the reason these people turned into zombies was because we had sent a satellite out to Mars that was returning to Earth, but then never made it or was off course, which signaled some sort of radiation in people.
Yeah. It's
Like,
it's
was
not
what?
it's not perfect, man. It's not perfect.
I mean,
It's my
when they were eating the limbs and the body of the people, and it's black and white, which plays well, I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
If you'd shot it in color, it would have taken, because back then they just didn't have the special effects or the even practical effects to make it look real. I'm sure. So black and white, it's just like, wow, okay, something dark and liquidy, that's blood, and the
Yeah.
people looking at. But the zombies were using tools and like banging on the walls, and I, honestly, I fell
Yeah.
asleep the first time I watched it.
Okay. Yeah.
Granted, I watched it at like 9 o'clock at night. I wasn't feeling well. It was one of the last movies I needed to watch on. So I'll give it that, but it just,
Hmm.
Halloween has to go before this.
Okay, we can put it at 9 then. Fine.
The
Fuck
only art, okay, we'll put Halloween at 9, Night of the Living Dead at 10. Like,
it.
Halloween has to. I mean, it's
Okay. Okay.
Halloween, Zach. What are we doing?
I know, and
It's
maybe
horror. All right,
you're a
and then we're gonna
whore.
put The Descent at 8. Then,
Okay,
all
that's
right.
fine with me. Yeah.
Wow, we're off to a banger start here.
It's Halloween, Zach.
we it's iconic. I
Is
mean,
that
for
your
the
argument?
score,
Just
for the score alone, like it should be, because
did you?
remember, we're basing these movies on the better movies, not the
Yeah,
better
yeah.
horror movies.
Jared, saying it over and over again isn't going to help me. Isn't going to help move the needle for me. It's
Well, it might
Halloween.
if I keep doing it. I mean, it's Michael Myers, not Mike Myers, which is
Now,
interesting.
Mike, I did say Mike Myers earlier.
Which is
Yeah,
interesting. Like, yeah,
yeah.
well, that's
Just
a different kind,
interesting.
different kind of genre altogether. There. Although it would have been great had Mike Myers tried to do like a horror
Parody or
spoof.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think that would have been interesting. He never really ventured in that. It was always like the spy and
yeah, yeah.
hairdressers or whatever. Oh no, that was Sandler, but
No, that's yeah.
that was Zohan.
Yeah, I got. Yeah,
Okay, so
moving on. Moving
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. So what you have at 8? Because now I'm just fucking interested in your list.
I had Night of the Living Dead, so it's not that far
Okay,
off.
okay.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then I
what
had
about
Nightmare on
7?
Elm Street at 7.
All right. So we're not
We're
too far off
close.
on there. So we'll have, because yeah, I had Nightmare on Elm Street at 9, so I'm happy to bump it up. I just There were a couple of sweet scenes on Nightmare on Elm Street, where Johnny Depp does get taken down, and then you just see a flow of blood like come out from his bed. But
Oh
I thought,
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was kind of hokey in certain aspects of the dialogue. They tried to tie it back into at the very end, where like the mother says, "No, we killed Freddy Krueger years ago. Me and a bunch of mothers. We actually killed him." And it's like, whoa, you guys are murderers too. Forget about the justice system.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
take matters into your own hands. And to kind of tie it back, I didn't see it coming. I don't know if that was supposed to be, I don't know, some sort of, I don't know. I thought it was odd. It's a classic high school slasher movie.
It is.
Again, when I was introducing it, and even myself, this is one of my movies, so I get it.
Hmm.
Even like introducing it, it's like a guy who kills you in your dreams kills you in real life. Like, what a fucking pitch to Hollywood that would have been. Um,
Well,
but
wasn't it's Inception was the sequel, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and they're like, let's get rid of the mask and the knives, but everything else. If you die in your dreams, you die. Let's
Yeah.
run with that part.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a guy who's fucking burned his face off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
yelling Freddy, and then it's
yeah,
like if you turn your back to him, he loses his power, and it just, oh my god, he's squeezing my breast again.
Dude, I'm about to fucking edit all this shit out.
No, no.
I'm glad I sent that to you. I was like, I don't know why I thought about that. I just had to shoot that text. Oh my god! This
Well,
time pretend.
it's because you sent me that text quote of this movie that I was flipping through. I'm like, all right, I gotta watch. It's been a while. Again, I'm watching the scene of My Fellow Americans where Jack Lemmon says, "Oh my god, he's squeezing my breast." it's a funny setup before that. So again, it's people out there, watch it. It's good.
James Garner's like, this time pretend not to enjoy it so much.
No, this really
Well,
helps. Because
you
I've been
mentioned
so depressed lately. It's like I need some laughter in my life. Anyway, number 6. All right, we're on number 6 here.
okay.
I mean my list is completely fucked now. Like I had Rosemary's Baby at 8. So
Jesus God, man, I thought you liked the movie.
I enjoyed it. Again, okay, maybe it crept into my psyche as well. We're like, is this a scary movie or is this a
Oh,
well-made
a
movie?
thriller, yeah,
It's
yeah,
a very
yeah.
well-made movie, and on those terms, which we did agree upon, I would definitely put it up higher. I had it at 3 originally.
Well, that's where I have it. That's where I have
Okay,
it. Yeah. Well,
and
because one of
because
the things.
after watching it, yeah, it is weird and freaky, but it's not very scary per se.
No, it's not. The only
You know
thing,
what I
yeah,
mean?
the
Like,
worst
there's
thing
not a
is
lot. There are no jump scares, right?
no, no.
There's not a killer. Nobody dies. Well, okay, the one girl in the beginning dies,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's just, and again, I think kind of falls into the whole Silence of the Lambs argument. Where is this a horror? Or is it a thriller or suspense? It's very suspenseful,
yeah, yeah. And
and I
it's
appreciated like Hutch, having a weird feeling about the guy, and it's something in his eyes, and then
mhm.
he goes into a coma, and his glove's missing, and then she gets the book, and the name is an anagram, and you're kind of putting together pieces, which I love that. But then at the back of my head, I was thinking the whole time, like, it's not very. This isn't scary. I'm not scared.
Right, right.
The ending is horrifying if you think about.
What the possibilities? It's the I.
Yeah,
You're using your own imagination, and that sometimes can be even scarier. You know what I
right.
mean? When
And
she
then,
mentions, where his eyes? What happened to his eyes? He
oh, have
has
you
his
seen his
father's.
hands? You should see his
Yeah.
hand. He's got his father's hands.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
which, and then now with the whole satanist, elite cult and ritual thing, that we're experiencing right now in
yeah.
America
The succubus. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world. It's like, I mean, it is kind of scary, and what the possibilities may be, and the whole "Hail Satan" at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what makes it such a
Uh,
suspenseful and
it's
thrilling movie is that it's told through the protagonist, uh, Fiamaro's
right,
character only. You don't see shit. Everything the audience sees is from her point of view. You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
again,
and you want to
you don't.
believe her, right, the
Yeah,
whole time, but then in the back of your head, like, there's no way this could be, the occult and this and that. But I again, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, Zach.
no, no, you wouldn't
Um,
dare.
so okay, well, we're just gonna put that at right at 3 right now. Then
Okay, okay.
that's gonna be at 3. And again, okay, I had The Exorcist at 6.
Oh hell, the fuck no! It is not going at 6, dude. It's going at 1, and it's staying at 1. This is
Whoa,
not only one of the scariest movies ever made. It's one of the fucking greatest movies ever made. There is borderline nothing
fuck
wrong
my
with this
cunt,
movie.
Zach. Fuck my cunt.
Dude, it's dark. I get it,
Is
but
that
that doesn't mean
scary?
it's not freaking great.
She's
It's
puking
still
up
a freaking
green. That's not
yeah.
scary.
dude, it scared the fuck out of me when I was younger. Because I mean, I
Okay, well,
understand you're
you
not
watched
very.
Prince of Thieves when you were 4.
Yeah. Well, shit, that should make me even more desensitized from it. So that means something. It doesn't go against the argument; it's for the argument. And I
Holy
know
cow, The Exorcist at 1.
I basically every episode we cover, either you or I or both have a movie on the list that we would enjoy doing a deep dive or even a commentary track on it. And in this week's episode, mine is The Exorcist.
This week's
And I
episode.
know, and I know, I'm on repeat from previous episodes, but every decision or choice that Freakin' as well as the efforts of the crew made is what makes this movie a fucking masterpiece. I love something about every scene, almost every frame of this movie.
You're
I
gonna
think
say
it's
Stanley Kubrick didn't do that?
no. I'll get into why. The Shining's
Yeah,
high on my list, but I'll tell you
yeah.
why I didn't have it as the greatest. But it's actually the Exorcist is the first film on my list that I think the sound effects is what makes it, along with the realistic practical effects, and I mean, shit, it's what became and gave the movie the reputation it has now, as most people do consider it the scariest movie of all time. And it was very controversial at the time it was released, yet it became the highest grossing movie of all time. And then until I think Jaws came out a couple years later. But
I just she comes down peeing on the carpet, and it's like, is that scary? Like, this little
it's
girl just comes
shocking.
down. It's
Yeah.
shocking, sure. You don't expect a 10-year-old to just come down
I
in
think
her
she was
jam
12,
jams.
13, but in her jam.
Wow.
Thank you for clarifying jam jams.
You
It's called
call
a
your
carpet in her jam
grandmother Gam
jams.
Gam.
She said that she pissed on the carpet in her jam jams, dude.
And then the whole fuck me scene and
Dude,
cocksucker
yeah,
and
yeah. Well, and
stabs herself, and it just I mean, I at the time again, and
I mean,
you and I
it's
both used the word desensitized throughout this pod, and
yeah,
we're in 2026 now. This movie came out 50 fucking years ago.
yeah, and it still shocked
It's
the fuck out of you, didn't it? Even after all this time.
not really like, and maybe there's a ton of spoofs about this too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's true. Yeah.
so I mean, I was made aware of The Exorcist long before I had actually seen the movie, and it was through
Mhm.
comedy. And
Yeah. It
I
was through
mean, and
comedy.
the power of Christ compels you. The power, like, and then the first like 10 minutes of the movie have nothing to do. I get it; it does have something to do, right?
Yeah, it's the prologue or whatever.
Like
Yeah.
the little green statue head that he finds doesn't ever appear in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
when?
That's her
That's her face.
no. Oh shit, I don't know. It should be in the regular cut when she undoes the straps and Father Karras is looking at it, and then you see the figure
Oh,
in the
yeah,
background. And
yeah. Okay,
also, I think
okay.
her art, her clay freaking statue or whatever she makes is supposed to be like a. It doesn't look like it, but that's what it's supposed to
It's supposed to
represent,
be.
I
It's supposed
guess.
to
Yeah,
represent it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean, but the
wow.
performances in the movie, the script, Friedkin's confidence was at an all-time high. He had just won Best Director. He brought in a little mix of traditional documentary and his own innovative style of filmmaking. And I don't know. It's true. Like I said, now granted, I kind of forget that at the time I saw this, I was going through my catechism. I was going to get my first
Jesus
communion
Christ,
soon, so
Zach.
there was a lot of yeah. It was an odd time to see this movie. So
Okay. Well, again, to quote Steve Buscemi, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, Zach. I'm not going to sit here and argue.
darn
I will.
tootin'.
I will put it at 1, and
Goddamn
it will
right you
stay there
are.
because this is how our podcast works. We give and take. You've given me number ones in the past that I've been adamant about. You seem pretty fucking adamant. Then something that I have has to go at number 2 that
Okay.
I had number 1. So that's going to go there. We're going to talk about that later because that's a lot to dive into. Okay, so the remaining movies that we have are Scream, The Shining, Texas
hmm
Chainsaw Massacre, and The
hmm
Poltergeist.
Okay. Is it just
I
Poltergeist or is it the Poltergeist?
It's fucking Poltergeist, Zach. It's also The
Don't
Descent,
fucking
not The
don't embarrass me on the
Descents,
pod. Yeah, yeah.
not The Descendants with fucking
Oh,
George
yeah, that's
Clooney.
right. I missed that one up.
What did you have at 6 then? I'm very curious.
Scream. But I'm actually okay with putting it higher. But we just have to figure out where it should go. Because I mean, I rewatched this not too long ago,
Hmm.
and it'd been years, so I had low expectations. I didn't think it was going to age very well, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
It's awesome.
It's an original storyline with plenty of twist, and it while paying homage to the rest of the horror genre. So, and it also you kind of second guessed yourself about. I mean, it made you not want to answer the phone. So very entertaining.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, and this came out, in our high school years. So,
I think it was the first scary movie I saw. Actually,
oh, dude, I was obsessed with it for years. You can laugh at it, you can be scared at it. It doesn't want to make, how many times, like, for years after that, people would call it people's house, like, what's your favorite scary movie?
right? Yeah.
Like, it was very, very much in the zeitgeist in pop culture. Drew Barrymore being led up as, she's a star of the film and she's one of the highest paid actors of the film. She gets
Hmm.
fucking killed and her entrails are hanging out
Yeah.
in the first scene. Like, it
Hmm.
was such a shock to people. I wasn't a huge movie goer, movie critic, and when I was 17, 18 years old when this movie came out, but even then I was like, Jesus, like her literally. And then apparently, Kevin Williamson wanted more
He wanted
gore
it
in that first
worse.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted
Yeah.
more of her insides hanging out, and it's like, if you watch it right now, her whole abdomen is missing and it's just
Hmm.
her intestines hanging out. Like, you wanted more. I mean, I don't know how you could get more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On a
and it's
happier
just
on a happier note.
Good.
No, I was just gonna say on a happier note, I do think about the Wayne's Brothers scary movie whenever I watch it.
Oh,
So
of
there are.
course. Well,
Yeah.
but then it just brings in so many cliches, and they do it so well. Wes Craven is obviously winking at the audience the entire time,
Right.
but they do it with intention. I mean, in the movie, they're quote, did they ever find out why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people?
No.
And Sharon Stone, and he like opens his hands, like,
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies. it, I mean, they constantly reference movies, and Jamie Kennedy is like, oh, it's the virgin who lives, and I'll be right back. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
in this movie, it just tons of quotes, and my sister-in-law Angie loves this movie too, and it's one of those where it's like Maverick with you and I. Like, anytime we get together and she doesn't have the boys, it's like, so what do you want to do? You want to watch Scream? Yeah, let's watch Scream. Like, we watch Scream, and I mean, it's one of my favorite horror movies. It's a horror comedy because there also is a lot of funny parts in it, like,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
hit me in the head, you dick. Like, and then it's like, well, what's your motive? What are you gonna tell people? He's like, peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive. Like, it's just quote after quote after quote. I I wanted a 4. If this is our list, I wanted a 4.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay because yeah, 6. I put it at 6. I did think the other movies were better, but I also enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I'm
It
not
is
going
an
to go.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know it's going at 2, 5 and 6.
That's our next podcast. That's our next podcast. The Enjoyables.
Yeah. Where did you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I had it at 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then so you had Poltergeist at 4.
I did. Yes.
Okay, all right. So we're just moving them up a little bit. It's
Yeah.
okay. All right, so we're gonna have Texas Chainsaw at 6, Polter at 5. Okay, so getting into Texas Chainsaw Massacre again, been remade 100 times. I'd never seen the original, or maybe I did way back in high school. Don't remember it really. It's the classic setup for House of a Thousand Corpses and other chainsaws where, some hippie kids are driving down the road and they see a hitchhiker. And in the 70s, it
Mhm.
was like, pick them up,
Yeah.
just trying to help each other out. And then even like from that first scene, the kid is just so odd, and then he asks for the knife and he cuts his
Yes,
hand,
it's
and it's
this movie makes you feel uncomfortable, like disturbed, and
oh,
also
definitely.
awkward sometimes too. And I think Tobe Hooper shot it. I don't know if this makes sense, but almost stylist. Like he never the shot a scene in the same style twice. I kind of felt. I don't know if it was maybe just different camera work,
No,
maybe.
I totally
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
It's different camera angles, there are different
Hmm.
zooms.
Yeah, he did like a low angle, or yeah, he did like a low angle tracking shot. Now, granted, it's
Yeah,
just the chick's ass, but I mean, he obviously liked it. I
yeah.
guess I don't know, but yeah, it was just. And out
Brian
of all the
De Palma
movies,
didn't direct this. Like,
yeah, right.
um, now, and
Oh,
again, we mentioned it in the time. The 70s, 80s, horror movies were about horny teenagers, right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
in order to get someone into horror, you had to show some tits and ass. I guess. I mean, I guess that was the time. But it was just. I mean, there were a couple of things where would you really do that? Their car breaks down, and then like, oh, let's wander into the woods in the middle of nowhere, and we come across this kind of rundown house, and you're yelling, "Hello, hello!" Nobody answers, and then they just go into the house.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't go in there, but that is a perfect setup for a scary movie. Like,
yeah. Well, out of all the movies on this list, I think this one toyed with my emotions the most, like in a not in a frightening manner, but like we mentioned earlier, uncomfortable, awkward, disturbing. Like it
yeah,
just.
it much more so just because I didn't have the expectations of that coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Poltergeist at 5. Then tell me your thoughts on that.
Oh, it's Poltergeist. It's basically just Close Encounter of the Third Kind's like semi sequel. Which I
Yeah,
mean, it makes sense. Spielberg wrote it, he produced it,
right.
but I think he was directing ET at the time. But yeah, the
Much
makeup.
different.
Yeah, yeah, the makeup and practical special effects were not scary, but I thought they were pretty cool. I mean,
No, they
that's
were great.
yeah. So
With the jumping around here, like at the very end when the mom is laying in bed, and then she gets kind of sprung onto the wall first, and then brought up on the ceiling, and this is after you think the movie's over, right? Because
yeah.
the little short weird lady is like, "This house is clean," and I'm it's a little fantastical, right? It's a little
Mhm,
out there. That's what
mhm.
sci-fi is, but
Yeah,
for this little girl to be able to talk to people through a TV, and then the kitchen scene I thought was
yeah, yeah.
weird. I mean, there
Mhm.
are a lot of weird things with everything flying from the bedroom into the closet. Like, that's weird. The person on the ceiling is weird. The weird tree scene
Yeah.
where the tree tries to steal
Which
the little boy.
yeah, it's no, and that makes sense because in his HBO documentary Spielberg's, he talks about how scared he was of trees when he was a kid. So as soon
Oh,
as I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit, that's straight from good old Spielberg's
yeah. And I mean, I think we can all
childhood."
kind of relate as kids. I mean, especially at night in thunderstorms, and you just see the
Hmm.
outlines, and they're kind of moving with the wind, and some branches move more than others because of their weight. And I mean, yeah, no, I could say, I mean, it wasn't a huge thing for me, but there were times where I was like, I don't like what that tree's doing. And, and then the thunder and the lightning, and the the tornado that only hits their house. Like, these are all weird things, but honestly, the weirdest thing, and the mom kind of laughs at it and is like, "Oh my god, this is kind of cool," is that kitchen dining room scene after breakfast where first I think the glass of milk breaks, and then the kid picks up his utensils, and they're all bent out of shape. And then she pushes in all the chairs, goes down to the cabinet down by her knees, stands up, and all the chairs are fucking on the table, like barely balancing on each other. I was like, whoa, that's.
Pretty cool.
And I think this, a lot of, correct me if I'm wrong, when you were younger, did you cross your fingers and hold your breath every time you drove by a cemetery?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, well, maybe I picked that up from A League of Their Own, but
Well,
whatever.
I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little
I'm
stitious.
just a
So
little suspicious. And I just have this here in my notes. It's not has much to do with the movie, but at one point, like the construction workers are catcalling the high school girl.
And
Seemed a little
yeah,
weird.
I thought that was weird too. I wrote that in my notes as well. I was like, she's like supposed to be 16, bro.
Yeah, she's supposed to
What
be
the
a
fuck?
junior in high school, and
Yeah.
he's like, I love you, baby, and then flips him off and does it great. And the mom just watched from the kitchen, like, oh, my daughter, she's great.
No.
No, go out there and tell those men to fuck stop that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, of the time, whatever. But a couple other questions why I had it lower on my list is like, how long had they lived there? Like,
Yeah.
why this
Yeah.
family? Obviously, they answered it at the end with, "Oh, it was a cemetery, and they didn't move the bodies." But how many times did that ever happen? So, any more on the poltergeist?
No, sir.
All right. And again, I just gotta point out, like, that's how fucking Craig T. Nelson, coach, got his start. That's crazy.
Yeah. It is
Um.
insane.
All right. So our last movie, I had it at number one. I'm hoping you had it at number two.
I did have it at 2. Yeah.
Okay. Is The Shining, which is arguably also one of the best movies of all time. Like you say, The Exorcist is, even though I've never heard you talk about The Exorcist.
How dare you? I just read that last. I'm just kidding. Stop lying to everybody.
I mean, Stanley Kubrick's, I don't know if you want to say it's his masterpiece. I mean, how
Yeah.
many masterpieces does he have, right? Space Odyssey is probably his masterpiece.
Most people would say, yeah. I'm a big Spartacus fan. You know that, even though he doesn't
I
really.
was gonna say that too. Obviously, it depends on who you are and what kind of films you're into.
Well,
Spartacus being an epic, and with my boy Douglas, I understand. Well, my boy's
yeah.
dad, anyway.
My boy's dead. You have to support the father too. You know, you
I
support the
gotta
son.
support the Douglas family. Okay,
Yeah, which we did that pod already. So
we
yeah,
did, we did,
the average drive support the Douglas family.
that we do. I mean, just the opening fucking tracking shot is
Yeah, the aerial. Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
amazing.
I thought that too. Too.
The fact that you never see, and I read somewhere where you can see the shadow of the helicopter at one point. I rewatched that opening scene 3 times, and
And you
I
couldn't
don't
see
see
it.
it. I
Yeah,
don't see a shadow anywhere. Maybe it's because they remastered it, or
could be.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm watching it on widescreen, so I thought that too. I'm like, maybe I'm in standard, but I was in widescreen. And as a tidbit, that road is not in Colorado. I'm sure you know that. That road that is shot in the opening tracking scene of The Shining is actually shot in Glacier National Park on Going to the Sun Road, which I have driven, and
oh,
it's Lake
nice.
McDonald that they go by, I believe. I'm pretty sure. No, no, that
No.
can't be right. Can't be right. But I've driven that road 7 times because I was there for 9 days a year and a half ago. That road at one is scary as fuck. It's huge. It's long. It's narrow. To make people try to think that that's in Colorado, I guess in 1980,
Was
unless you lived
doable.
here, you probably didn't know any better. But great opening tracking shot. And then looking at the quote unquote Overlook Hotel, I mean, people could do all the research themselves. There's a ton to do about this movie, right? Like, it was inspired by the Stanley here in Colorado, Estes Park. It was not shot there. It was the inspiration for the hotel in the book, The Shining. The Overlook Hotel in the movie, the exterior shots are from the Timberline Lodge in Oregon. And then the interior shots are from the Awanati. I'm probably butchering that, which is in Yosemite, California. So I mean, and then a lot of the interior shots are also shot in a stage. It's a set piece in Hollywood.
Yeah,
The maze scenes are shot in the UK. Like, I mean, Kubrick really went above and beyond for that, which is why I had it at number one. I think it's an incredible. I mean, all the Native American stuff was aside. Like, you can really dive deep into all of that. Where even in the interview where the guy has certain things placed on his desk, and then the mention of an ancient burial ground and the white man's bourbon, and then all the stuff with Kubrick himself, the carpeting that Danny rides on, the Apollo USA sweater that Danny wears, Is this a wink to him shooting the Apollo missions in Hollywood? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Hmm.
It just, for my 2 cents, I had a number one for all these reasons and many more. I have so many notes. I can't. We're not going to get into all my notes here, but
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's just
what?
it is a
Yeah. What,
scary movie too. And I think Jack goes crazy on like day two. It's
yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah, that was in my notes. I was like, he's been there for like a couple of days. It's
yeah,
like-
I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday. He starts to
well,
go crazy, and it's like he's telling them, "Oh, I'm good for 6 months. Yeah, no problem." It
well,
might.
the thing is, he made the mistake because you could tell on the way when they shoot inside the car that he doesn't even like his fucking family. I'm like,
Oh, for sure.
you think you could handle 6 months when you barely like your wife and kid? I mean, come on, dude.
Exactly.
But yeah,
And then he's a recovering alcoholic. He hasn't had a drink for a while. He's probably going a little stir crazy for that.
yeah.
He mentions it in the bar. He's like, "Here's the 5 miserable months of being on the wagon." Which that scene I do have to give a shout out for the movie Passengers with Chris Pratt and my girl
Oh, J Law. Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence, where he's literally drinking with the bartender who looks exactly like the bartender in Shining, like,
Oh, Turkle. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's all alone. But yeah, no, in that first scene, she's like, "Oh, isn't it beautiful up here? And the air just tastes different." He's like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah, see, yeah.
Like, it's just obviously not a fan of his own fucking
Hmm.
family.
Well,
Um,
going back to Kubrick, I think he was at a high. Everything he's known for was at a high in this movie. You know, the visual effects, set design, camera
ev-
placement, lens depth. You know, the perfect lighting, which of course that's what he's known for. But
yep.
in this particular movie, the quote unquote horizons on all the scenes were centered, which per
Mm,
Spielberg's John Ford story, that means it's an uninteresting story, which I disagree with in this
oof.
case. And all the actors are dead center in each frame, plus the mix between hard cuts and dissolving edits.
Yep.
But to be fair, I wasn't a fan of the acting until the third act. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, prevents it from being number one. And also, maybe the dissolving edits was maybe a little overused, which could be a contradiction because I did like that part of the movie, but
Yeah.
again, the third act kicks it up to 11, as Spinal Tap would say. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could agree and disagree. You mentioned earlier with Freakin' where everything was on purpose, nothing was accidental. From the director, the writer, the set design, costumes, everything was taken into account. Nothing was overlooked. I mean, Kubrick is notorious, maybe, or famous for that, where he's a
Yeah.
perfectionist. Where
Hmm.
you can, again, these listeners can do the research themselves, but if you really deep dive, he really goes into detail about even background characters during the first scene of the interview, and like where things are placed, and how things in the background are sitting and what they're pointing at and what the color is, and everything was taken into account. And I mean, you can like the movie or not. Again, Kubrick is a master of his craft, was a master of his craft. And then another thing about this movie, there's so many lines. Like, okay, The Exorcist also have, the power of Christ compels you, fuck me and
Who
things
hasn't
like
said
that.
fuck
But
me?
like, The Shining, it's like, here's Johnny. And
Well, yeah, but that's a ripoff from Johnny Carson and uh no something. What is it? No play makes Jack a dull boy. That's
yeah.
from Bridge on the River Kwai. So even those quotes aren't from The Shining; they're from
Okay, well,
something.
here's Johnny was ad libbed by Jack Nicholson on the set. And Kubrick liked it so much. He's like, whoa, that's also kind of pop culture. Like, why would you say that? And he's like, it just came to me, Jack. And then it's like, Wendy, baby, light of my life. Like, I'm not going to hurt you. You didn't
I'm
let
just
me
gonna
finish my
smash
sentence.
you.
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. I'm going to bash them right the fuck in. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, so many lines.
Oh,
And then, like, Red Rum, obviously, another
yeah,
one.
that's
And,
classic. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and
No,
then The
no,
Shining,
yeah.
Scatman Crothers, his death was also unexpected, but also expected. Like,
Hmm.
he went all that way and, like, didn't even get to speak to anybody.
I know.
Like,
No work. No, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
A dull
That's what I
boy.
was thinking. Yeah, yeah,
And it's like, and yeah, like we just mentioned, I mean, it was either Tuesday or Wednesday when they put those, day markers on the screen. He's like clacking away, and then she sees that's all he's been writing. So it's like he went crazy
yeah. A
within
couple of
72 hours. Like, and as soon as he
it's
said I had a nightmare where I killed you and Danny, it's like, well, something might be off
yeah,
here.
the freak. Yeah.
I do
So
want
which
one little nitpick I want to have your opinion on. So when Wendy locks him in the food storage room, who fucking lets him out? It has to be Danny, right?
no, I thought it was the former groundskeeper. I thought it was supposed
Yeah,
to
but
be the imaginary. Like,
yeah, but that's that's a hallucinatory scene he has with him in the bathroom where he's like, "Oh yeah, I read about you. I know you. You killed your family." And
yeah.
he's like, "They need correction."
I mean, I
But
didn't. I I just like you said, even though it was hallucinatory, it was just I thought that it was. I assume that's who it was. So
well, yeah, he's talking to him outside. He's like, "Well, we're all concerned." He says that like we're concerned that you don't have the goal to do this.
yeah,
And then he begs like, "Well, I just need one more chance." And next thing you know, Danny's upstairs saying red rum with a knife, and Wendy's in bed, and then Jack just appears with an axe out of nowhere as well. It's like, how was he let down? Or how was he let out? That was the perfect thing she could have done is just lock him in a room.
yeah. I mean,
And then one last final tidbit, actually, how I was introduced to The Shining was through the movie Twister, where they're at the like second to last tornado that rips through a movie theater, a drive-in movie theater, and actually has The Shining on the screen. And I remember asking my mom, like, "What is that movie?" And she's like, "You don't need to worry about that movie right now." Like, I was like less than 10 years old when we went to see Twister in the theaters, and I was like, "Well, what's that other movie with the twins and the guy with the axe?" And she's like, "No, no, 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 no. Yeah, you don't need to know about that movie right now." Oh, that little guy? I don't worry about that little guy.
yeah.
And then another, okay, I know last tidbit, but the Scatman Crothers with the two beautiful black naked women portraits.
I dug it. I dug it.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah,
It's an interesting choice. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, we mentioned Red Rum and Danny Boy, and here's Johnny, all that. So, all right, I'm okay with it at number two. If you're set on Exorcist at one, being the number one horror movie of all time, I will
goddamn
say it's a
right.
little more horror than The Shining. It's again suspense, thriller, horror. What are the differences?
Yeah, I mean, plus The Exorcist at one time was a hit. The Shining wasn't, and
It's a
Exorcist got
cult
two
classic,
Oscars.
Zach.
So yeah.
It's a cult classic.
No, I mean, Exorcist is still pretty recognizable, and I understand there weren't 1,000 sequels from this particular movie, but possession movies they come
Yeah.
out like every 2 years, so
Oh yeah, for
it's
sure. Well, I mean, you could also say like The Conjuring, which we already went
yeah,
through,
we
pretty
did, yeah.
similar to that.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so that wraps up our 10 here, and we're gonna go from 10 to 1 in order, the agreed upon. Number 10, Night of the Living Dead. Number 9, Halloween. Number 8, The Descent. Number 7, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 6, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Number 5, Poltergeist. Number 4, Scream. 3, Rosemary's Baby. 2, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And number 1, Zach's favorite movie of all time, The
I
Exorcist.
didn't say that. I said it's one of the greats.
No, I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it. I
Yeah,
had it at like 2 originally, and then 7, and then ended up at like 4.
it's good. It's good. It's good.
It's so yeah, that's our final 10. Set it in stone, write it in ink, put it on the internet. The internet lives forever. This is our top 10. Looking back on it though, I will say I maybe would have taken off a few from this list and added a few from the last list. Do you feel like
Yeah,
that at all?
definitely. Yeah, I felt that way. Yeah,
Yeah. After watching it, there's a couple, like
we could
honestly,
have had. Yeah, we could have had Get Out and
that's
Silence. and
That's
Silence of the Lambs on this list for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yep, those two were definitely going to be ones that I said could have bumped their way up and knocked off a few of these. Actually, the Get Out was the main one. It's like I think that was scarier than some of these on the list and, our previous list, but this is what we do. Maybe we'll do a revision horror in like a year or two or whatever, but
Yeah.
let's
Who knows?
revisit it and re-rank the top 10 from our 20. That might be fun a little bit, but
That might be fun. Yeah.
yeah, maybe when I'm a better mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Mindsets. Yeah.
For those listeners who obviously don't know me, but for those friends and family who do, I do appreciate all the reaching out and condolences and everything. I had to recently put down my dog of 8 years. It's been tough for any of those who have had to put down a pet. I'm sure you know the pain that I'd been going through the last week and a half or two. It's tough. And then to watch horror movies
Yeah. Like your
during
buddy
that
said, just
during
bad
that trying
timing.
time, not the best. But for any of our friends that are listening that gave me a shout out, reached out to me via text or Facebook or whatever, I do really appreciate it. Ludwig was my best friend and a great dog, and I miss the hell out of him.
Yeah. Good dog, Ludwig.
He was a good dog. I know you're not a big fan of dogs, but he loved you, Zach.
Yeah. Yeah. He did. His little wagging tail. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good boy. So appreciate all the listeners out there. Give us a follow, give us a like. We are on Spotify, Facebook. Zach, I'm not sure. I haven't updated Facebook, but we will soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twitmaster and facial whatever.
Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, we're on all that. Give us a
We're
like
on
on
all
all
that.
that. Yeah. So
And then shout out to our producer Zach for picking all of our categories and doing a lot of the editing for our podcasts. Zach, I do appreciate you.
yeah.
Should we
Yeah.
do a teaser for what's coming up next?
Oh, I'd say yes, but I think the one we're recording next, I don't think it's going to be released right after horror. So we'll
Okay.
keep it a surprise. So
Okay. No, I like surprises. It's
yeah.
more in the horror fashion anyway. Let's keep
Right.
them
Right.
guessing. Let's do a jump scare here. All right. So this is the Average Jive signing off on horror number 2, our top 10. Jaron and Zach, thank you again, everybody, for listening. Tune in next time we post something. And again, if you have any comments about us, movies that we missed, or comments about the podcast, or what we might have missed about the movies we talked about, please give us a comment on Spotify, on YouTube. Reach out to us personally, whatever you feel is necessary.
Yeah. You take care, everybody. Talk to you later, Jaron.
Fuck.
Wrap. It's a wrap. Come back tomorrow. Fuck.